The two of you. I don't know if I've said it enough, but these are the kind of serious discussions that are tough to have, to say the least. That
No,
I
it's
really feel we need
not.
to have any productivity in this world as relations.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
like,
that it should be just this scapegoating anybody. I think whenever you have a complex situation and a complex problem, there's no like way to just scapegoat it. There's no, you can't just say, oh, it's
I'm
women's
not trying
fault.
to scapegoat, just to be clear.
No,
I
I
was
think
just
you're
saying
not. I'm just saying that finding someone to scapegoat on is not going to be the answer.
men
Both
have been
are more,
disempowered to the
men are
point that
not,
they can't lead.
yeah, men are not being effective leaders. Women
Well,
are,
they can't. They've been disempowered even if we want to. We can't, I would argue.
okay,
So
and
but being a leader
type
we need
of
some
men,
no one
empowerment
makes you a leader.
from you
You
guys.
are a leader, and your efficacy as a leader
I hear you,
is
hon,
your
but I'm a
ability to
leader of
convince
myself at this
people.
point because it's a dangerous world out there as a man with Me Too and everything else. These women can say whatever they want. Good chance they'll be believed, and I won't. So I'm leading myself at this point. I don't lead women
I
around.
have to
Like
look
that,
at the
it's
court.
dangerous.
You have to even look at the courts. The courts are stacked
The
against men.
courts were made
Everything
by
is.
men.
Well,
But
Men
it doesn't
they
seem
over
that way by the
there.
but they're
results.
against but they're the courts now. Have you ever seen what's going on with in divorce court?
I've
Okay,
never
that's
seen a
fine.
man
Okay,
come out
but
of
the men
divorce that
were
he
Oh,
the
wasn't
ones
but
fucked
that
over.
wrote those laws. They were
I've never
the
seen a
ones
woman
that did it.
fucked by divorce. Well, if men wrote the laws, they wrote it against themselves because I have never
Yeah,
once
they
seen
did. They did
women.
because
Well,
they're running a
that's not us
society.
men. That's elitists. That's aristocrats that are writing those laws or something because
Yeah.
that don't represent us. But men have never once come out of a divorce better off, from my experience, and women have never come out of it worse off.
it's like I mean, I've been around a lot of divorced men, and it's
Same.
like, look, they're broken.
Go through the
They
coals. They
have
are broken in a lot
money.
of ways,
They're emotionally broken. They're freaking angry.
rightfully
They're
so,
broke financially.
because of the woman they thought they loved raking them over the coals.
So it's like it's always women who are initiating divorce. So either women are looking at marriage differently than men are. And again, it goes back to the core values. And these are things that need to be discussed early on in the relationship, especially when it's starting to get really serious.
So I have a question. If women are the problem and the women are the ultimate source of all the issues that we have in society right now and it's leading to decay, why is it through most of history when men had total and complete control of society, why wasn't it a utopia?
Huh, I'm not saying the women are the problem. Let me
No,
clarify my
I'm
position.
saying
I'm saying right now they're the leverage point. They need to budge because they're the ones with power
yes,
to
women
affect the
have,
situation. And when I say budge, I just mean they need to get out of men's way so they can empower them to lead again and protect everything and uphold everything. Men are equally responsible for this, but we just can't do anything about it from where we're at right now. We have no leverage. We need it
you know,
from you guys. We need help.
men right now, especially alpha men, they're just like, I mean, I hate to say it, but if the way that things are going or they continue to go on, they're going to be a dying breed.
Well, look, men are going their own way. That's literally a movement now. Like, men are
Yeah,
choosing
I've seen
not to deal with women because it's dangerous and it's impossible. It's not a good situation.
it really is.
Myself included, frankly. I have no plans of like getting married or nothing like that. That's crazy
Well,
talk for
why?
me. Because I don't, well, if you could sell me on one upside for a man to getting married, I would maybe consider it.
But what about having a home and a family and all these things? Like,
I'd like the ideal of all that, but again, it's really risky and too dangerous. And I don't know that a woman could win over my trust to such an extent that I'm worried that in a lesser moment or an emotional moment where she's not seeing me as Prince Charming anymore and the government's always whispering in her ears, just leave his bitch ass and I'll take care of you financially till your kid's 18. That she's not going to take
Or
them up on that at some
the
point.
or you have other women
Even a
that
saintly woman might fall to that in hard
other
circumstances.
women that are getting involved and saying, you know what, well, he's not treating you right. Oh, you know what? It's like he should be doing more. Why are you doing this? Or da 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 da
Oh,
da.
that brings up a great point, Mariah. So I've been asking this lately, and this is an honest question. We all know the laundry list of things that men are expected to bring to the table in a relationship. What are women expecting of themselves to bring that equals out the exchange?
Well, I think that women tend to be what's the word? Oh God, I can't think. It's too late.
Bitches? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No, it's like I just think
Totally
that
kidding, guys.
women tend to be on some type of like, illusionary fantasy type of like,
Disney princess fantasy,
yeah,
I
type
call it.
of thing. And I think what it is that because sex has been weaponized, and that's the thing is you're providing, because I think the concept now is that when a woman gives sex, she's giving love and she's giving of herself, and then therefore you're getting her quote unquote virtue.
That's all the value she needs to bring to the table between her legs. Give me a
Well,
break,
I
young
mean,
men.
it looks
Don't
that
let that
way,
come
but
to you.
also it's like I don't think that women think about things like, cooking and maintaining a
That's what I'm
home,
saying. Just certain
nurturing,
things like that are
being
feminine
a
that
good
balance
mother,
out.
being nurturing, um, being like handling,
Raising my children in a way that I can't do on my own as a man. I'm not as nurturing and natural with it at all. I mean, I would try, but I would be
I think that
insufficient.
I think women don't, even sometimes it's like women get complacent even after they get married, and then they pop a couple of kids, then all of a sudden it's like, they're shaped like a doggone globe. And well,
An egg on stilts.
exactly. And then it's like they'll blame it on, well, the pregnancy, or they'll blame it on this, or they blame it on that. And then it's like,
A lot
well,
of those women's bodies get damaged because of stress. So if you're living in a situation where you don't have enough resources, women typically have a lot of stress. So if your cortisol levels are consistently high, your body will get damaged. And that's why we see a lot
But
of
men don't have that same weight gain like
but
the
that. Are they
women
more
in
stressed than men, do you think?
The African American community, that's why you see like a lot of them being overweight because of stress. Like
Do
that's
you think they're more stressed than the men? Because the men don't seem to be putting on weight like that.
African American men
Honest
are
question.
overweight as well, but women's
Yeah.
bodies are different. Cortisol, like different,
Mm.
affects you differently. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, a lot of these people in poverty, a lot of these people who look unhealthy the way they do is because they have high cortisol levels. So you're gonna put
but I'm
on weight, you're
talking
gonna eat
about middle
more.
class people. I'm not even talking about the impoverished individuals. I've seen like women
Yeah, middle
who,
class people
the
are
middle
just
class and upper middle class women who have let themselves go. I've seen it in my family. It's like, what the hell with it? And then it's like, I'm
Then they
just
come to resent the man for not finding them
look, okay,
attractive
I
anymore.
know I
But
can,
men are physical creatures. We can't help but
let me
have
tell you
physical
something.
some
attraction
men
and lack
like
thereof.
overweight.
No,
Some
let
men
me see
do.
what happened. I know this personally from a family member. It became all of a sudden, she winds up like, gaining all of this weight. She does have a kid. Husband makes good money. Beautiful house, 2 cars. All of a sudden, he becomes the problem. Okay? And the
Right.
fact of the matter is, it wasn't about the husband. It was about her. She had a lot of issues,
But she didn't
unresolved
take
issues.
accountability.
Exactly. Unresolved issues within herself,
Yeah.
that therefore she winds up displacing upon her husband and blaming him for the fact that she was a roly-poly. He went and bought her the whole, what do you call it, the Bowflex thing?
Everything. He probably tried everything. Look,
Oh, he bought her the Bowflex. He did
men don't leave
everything.
marriages statistically. Men aren't the ones leaving. Women are leaving 80% of the time. So
But she
men will,
was the one
in my
that was,
experience, this is just my experience, take it for what it's worth. Men will literally try to stick it through with a woman they love through fucking total misery. Forever.
yeah, and then
Literally.
this is what this man, I'm witnessing this.
I see it all the time.
And it's like, my God, the man
And the
is
women
a
resent them for
former
that and they
shell
blame them
of
and shit.
himself.
Yeah.
He looks like voodoo on a stick.
And he'll go to his dying
And he's
grave.
still staying with her.
Yeah, he ain't gonna leave her. He will not be
No,
the initiate.
no, he's
She'll
staying.
initiate it and she'll blame him for
Oh, this,
not having sex with her or whatever anymore. But it's like, babe, I told you a bunch of times, like, I'm not attracted to your overweight. And it's like, can we work on that? I tried to be sensitive.
no,
And you're
she
gonna make me out
stopped,
to be
no,
a fucking
she
asshole for
stopped
that
doing
and blame me.
that. She stopped doing it because it's like she got her kid. That's all
Oh
she
my God,
wanted.
dude, sex as a weapon is a real thing, man.
It
Young
is.
men,
It's
once
a
they
real
get you,
thing.
once they got their hooks in you, and they know they love you love them and shit. Watch out. That sex is gonna go fucking extinct. It's gonna come out for when they want to use it for something, some leverage. They call me sexist or whatever. I don't care. I'm just trying to peep you young men to shit that I wish I learned at a younger age.
Then why don't they just
So
give them some maca powder to get their hormones back together? Most women don't have a sex drive anyway.
Well, they're still using it as leverage. They still do it.
Okay, but most women don't have a really good, healthy sex drive anyway. They need medication.
That's fair enough. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying they use sex for other means than the men who are just going into it as a loving
If
act.
they want to fix the women's libido, then give them some maca powder. Give them some.
What is that?
aphrodisiac.
Maca powder?
Yeah, give them
What
some
is that?
aphrodisiac.
oh, maca powder. I've heard of that.
Why don't?
What is that? I'm gonna have to buy a bunch to slip in my girlfriend's coffee. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, like, if that's an issue, then it's probably a hormonal thing, and you can just fix that with some aphrodisiac.
No, a lot of things is like basically it's emotional. It's emotional and it's unresolved issues. And it's like if your head is not well, it's going to affect you physically. The mind, body, and spirit, they work in unison.
People need
So it's
people
like,
need
you know, if you're
their shit together for sure.
yeah, exactly. And that's the point. The point is that a lot of you know, people, and I'm going to include men as well, they want to ignore issues that are harmful instead of addressing these issues that are harmful within their lives.
Yeah, people do that. They don't want to address the root causes. They don't want to fix the root cause. And you can spend a lot
Hey, I
of
thought I
time.
felt the air leave the room. Mitch is back. Nobody's happy.
He got kicked off of everybody else's stuff.
Can you imagine one time, when's the last time Mitch showed up to a place and somebody was like, yeah, Mitch is here?
I don't know. I don't have enough clout for like me to be like, oh, don't come in the room or anything like that, because it just.
Bro, I don't even block the guy. I literally, like, will
But
let
no,
him
like,
just sit there and
Courtney
fucking talk to
blocked
himself all
him.
day. But it's like, why are you here if you don't like us, man? It's the most insane thing, bro. Just chill out. Stop trolling my live so much.
I think when he's not like trolling and just being like contrary, you know, it's nice to have leftists to talk about things. But
yeah, but he's a bad faith guy. He's always saying I'm a Republican, even though I clarify every time. I even clarified just earlier.
yeah,
I made a point
annoying.
to, and he still labels us as Republicans. He's a bad faith guy. He's not a good person in my regard, in my opinion. Either way, I don't care. I let him sit there and expose himself.
Listening to your debating point. But no, I wish there were more leftists to talk to, but they don't want to talk about anything, because as soon as you bring something up, then it's like they don't have anything.
Emotion, blah, 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 blah.
I don't even deal with leftists anymore. I can't. It's like
guys, they're obsessed with us. They're coming around us to hang out. They're hanging out in our comment section and shit when we're not even acknowledging them.
I wish they would. They don't really. I don't feel like I'm getting enough.
He said he blocks me. So, yeah, sometimes I do. Absolutely, Mitch. Sometimes I just, you know, I do my best, bro. But I mean, I think even you know you're impossible sometimes. You're absolutely insufferable.
It's like I get the black leftists, and I'm just like, and everything is
don't you mess with the black leftists.
I'm telling
She black.
You got that internalized whitewashed, internalized race.
Yeah, you ain't lying. That's a fierce competitor.
You think a white man's ice is colder?
Yeah.
Ladies, as a single straight white male, getting in the cyclops eye of a black feminist, you haven't felt wrath like that before.
Oh my God! It's like I'm so done.
I can't.
You have
like,
not felt that.
I have black leftists like following me, but I don't know why they follow me, because it's like, you know what? I'm not even acknowledging, because it's like right about now, I just feel as though that they don't understand that there's a bigger picture that's going on, and that they're so caught up with identity and quote unquote blackness.
And they've never read any of the real books. They've never read these books. They never read any of these philosophies. They never read.
And they're always saying, as a white guy, you don't understand and stuff. I'm like, you're being racist towards me, which you're upset about people being racist towards you. Do you not see the obvious hypocrisy of all this?
But you can't be, because you can't be racist because they're white supremacists, so they always think you're superior to them.
Oh yeah, you said that one time. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of
that
sense.
argument is void, because they are white supremacists. They believe you are superior no matter what. So there's
no way deep, girl.
for you to be wrong.
You're saying it's not the white people that see themselves as supremacists. It's the black people that see the white people as supremacists.
I don't think you're white supremacist.
I told the
No, I
black
get what you're saying. That's a
I
deep
told the
point.
black liberal, I said, you know what? Deep down inside, you wish you were white, don't you? Oh, that was triggering.
I can't
Hey,
stand
next time you
that.
do something like that, Mariah, make sure you're filming these moments. That's what you call
That's
viral,
my thing.
okay?
That's my thing. It's like they're always like, oh, you're this, you're that, you want to be with white people and all this. And I'm like, no, I know who white people are. I know that, like, there's this book called Dirt, and it explains how Europe was and how fucking filthy it was. Like, no, I don't believe that these people are somehow superior to me. I know where they came from. Like, I
Look,
know
it's a
where,
class war. It's not a racial
yeah,
divide, and
it's
that's what's
not a
getting us all
racial divide
jammed
Exactly.
up.
anymore.
They hate all
Exactly.
of us,
And
guys.
it's
It doesn't
like
matter
the
what
thing
skin color
about
we are.
it,
They don't like any of us.
it's like black liberals don't know anything about Karl Marx,
Nope.
Friedrich Engels,
They don't know nothing
Che
about it.
Guevara.
Malcolm
It's
X.
all the people that they support.
They don't know
Um,
nothing about it.
it's like they look at W.E.B. Du Bois as like a good guy, and I'm like, wait a minute, this man was an elitist socialist who believed in the talented 10. So therefore, you wouldn't even be allowed to come to his party.
You know, Republicans are actually the ones that they were made by black people, and they're the party that freed the slaves.
Yeah, but you tell black, it's like the
But that's
party
what I'm
That they
saying.
blow
It
up.
switches
Does
back
not
and
compute.
forth.
What the?
But it's like, it was a party switch, and then it's like, okay, well, FDR, and I'm like, oh, do you realize what FDR did for, like, poor, like, black people as well as poor white people? I'm like, the New Deal was a raw deal. It took a
Yeah,
lot
that
of,
was
like,
a BS deal.
yeah, it was, but it's like, they don't know anything about
No,
history.
they don't know anything about it. They just, you know what they do? They read those freaking slide deck cards that they have on all the posts where you scroll. This is why you should. Not all women have periods, and then they scroll and
Yeah.
Get
all the
the
different
fuck
talking
out of
points.
here.
And that's where they get their education. And it's really fucked up. But because they put the nice graphics and they have the little and the little cartoons.
Friendly reminder, kiddos, not all women have periods
Yeah,
and some men
exactly.
bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just know how to package it well. They just package it.
Right. Propaganda,
Right.
right?
They know how to
Yes.
propagandize it properly. And that's all it.
Full circle, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
It's the marketing.
It's all marketing. And it's just
It's
that,
the presentation.
yeah, and it's just that Republicans don't market as well. And if they did market better, then you have to vote on principles. You have to have a class of people who have some ability to see past the dialectic and see past the two sides and see principles. Okay, if this person says they're a Democrat and they are for free rights and all this and blah blah blah. If this person's what's his name, Mitch McConnell, or and he's obviously messed up just because he's a Republican, doesn't mean he's right. So it's like you have to have this higher level thinking, and that's the real.
Right.
That's the real solution.
Yeah, that is the problem. But like I said, like I had suggested before via direct messaging about how we're going to have to use like subliminal messaging within the presentation so that they can somehow like pick up on something within whatever like the conservative like presentation is.
Pay attention to how the Democrats package their product for sale and start taking notes.
Exactly.
I know. That's what I'm going to start posting on my page. I'm just going to post like how to market messages better. And, may the best man win. Because at this point, it's like...
You got to put attractive people.
Yeah, you have to put attractive people. You have to... Like, but the thing is, they've made...
Maybe some twerking, right?
They've made,
I hate that. As much as I hate that, if it means that, like, it'll push the conservative...
Sex sells, man. That's one thing I know.
But if you have a bunch of asexual kids, it's not going to be sex that sells, because these kids are asexual.
Oh, wow, that's wild. Yeah.
They are. Like, sex is not, that's not going to ignite them.
It sells, not for long, though.
No, you have to arouse
in
people.
disguise.
Arousal is the method. You can only...
Layla, it's like what you said about those kids now with the weird bodies.
They do. These box bodies. I was like, they all look like they had they just had
You've been
like
noticing too, I guess, Mariah? Is
they
that
all,
what
they
I
all
was
look
getting?
like they just had some late term miscarriage or something. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Like, oh my God.
you
I
know?
thought, because sometimes it's like, oh my God, I live alone. So it's like when I get outside and I see things and I'm like, okay, you know what? Why is your mind going there? And it's like, wait a minute. I'm looking at these kids, especially when they come out of school, and it's like, my God, well, why is that child shaped like
Mariah's like, what
like
the?
is it a polygon?
I
Is it a
know.
polygon?
It's because their hormones are messed up.
Yeah, I feel bad for all those kids because you're right. Their diet, their hormones, and everything else, they're being attacked from birth from every angle you can
And
imagine
their
and then
parents
some.
are all ignorant and just feeding them whatever bullshit.
Yeah, well, their parents were attacked to their own extent, but these kids are getting it bad now. It's
Yeah.
snowballing downhill onto
Yeah,
them
oh,
hard.
it's bad. It's bad because I'm looking at some kids and I'm like, and some of them, I mean, whew,
Yeah, it's bad.
it's bad. I mean, it's really bad. Sometimes it's like, wow, wow. And my goddaughter, she's 11, and she's like normal, and it's like she introduced me to like her friends, or I saw her friend, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what is that? It's like it's part platypus, part like
They really are
like
some platypus people. It's true.
Well, hey, ladies, I'm getting exhausted. This has been a great live. I like to end on a high note. I've kind of asked this before, but maybe you can help me remember your answer. What would you advise, say, your 18-year self looking forward in the world?
stay away from liberals. I keep saying
Rule number one, right, Mariah?
that. It's like stay
Rule
away
number
from
two, see rule number one.
yeah. Well, I mean, basically, stay grounded. Um, make sure that you connect yourself with people that have your same values. Um, make sure. I mean, I did everything right, but I got caught up in the liberal shit. That was like that was my biggest problem because
Biggest regret.
yeah, because it's
Okay.
like I mean I was part of the conservative um club in college, and I got lambasted bad by everybody.
And
Oh,
what, you gave in, so you didn't want to be a
I
conservative
gave
anymore?
it, and I'm telling you, I regret because I should have stayed with the Republican club. I mean, the conservative club.
So
It was
don't,
like the
young
young,
people
it
out
was
there,
like
if you
the
have
young
convictions,
conservative. It
don't
was
let
like
the mob beat you out of your convictions, folks. That's what she's saying.
yeah. I mean, it's like I was part of the young conservative club in college. Great people. I had, but you know what? The black liberals got me. How can you be around with them? Oh, they're racist. They don't care about you. Oh, they look at you as like less than blah. And I caved in like a dummy. And normally I am very principled, even at a
No, you
young
know why you caved, Mariah? Look at the pinned comment. And this is why, Mitch, this is why I don't deal with the guy, but I let him expose himself. They should have kicked you off campus. He's like, this is the kind of extreme thoughts that this
see,
psycho has. So, like,
see,
that's why you caved in at a young age, because you don't know the extent that these crazy people go to.
yeah, they're and the thing is that they're unhappy with themselves. And that's what I realized. I realized like later on that like once I like, graduated and I got away from those like, individuals, it's like basically, and one of my friends, God rest his soul, he died in a car accident. He told me, he said, look, he goes, Mariah, you got your shit together. And it's like that's, and I realized like the other people that I was like dealing with, they were like bums. I had like, I had a great mom.
Right. Who am I taking advice from here, right?
It's like I was the only one that had a brand new ride. I'm driving around.
Why am I listening to these fools?
So it's like, wait a minute. I wind up listening to people who were bums, okay, and who were jealous.
Yep, that's the ultimate point. Jealous and bitter.
Jealous. And they were jealous of the fact that I was free in regards to myself.
That you weren't a victim. You weren't willing to be a victim with them.
and I connected with people based on energy.
They want to connect with you in the cult of victimality instead of victorhood.
Exactly.
And when they see that you won't join, you won't become a victim, you're intent on being a victor, they will resent you and come with all they got.
Exactly. So I will tell anybody, it's like, look, you have to satisfy yourself. Don't listen to them. And especially, it's like, you know, if you have people who are frenemies, stay away from them, because you cannot have friendship based on bipolarity behavior. They can't love you one minute and hate you the next. Okay, that's not grounds for friendship either.
I love that. Layla, thoughts? Bring us home.
Don't waste your time on other people's problems.
Great.
Oh,
Like that point
great.
too.
Yes.
Hey, mine, Layla, burn the fucking ships.
Burn the ships. Yeah.
Don't look back.
That's
No
the one.
retreat.
Burn the ships.
We're all in.
I love that one.
So, folks, this has been a rousing, fun time.
As always, you guys are so cool.
Likewise, man. Who would have ever thought I jumped into social media at like 30-something years old for the first time, and I'd find people that I don't even get along with like this in my real life? Amazing.
Ditto.
Yeah, I don't know. People aren't kind of trash.
That's a high note if I ever heard one, folks.
Oh,
We'll end
God.
right there.
Layla,
Common sense culture. We out here for Layla and Mariah.
Because it's so matter of fact, and it's just like, yeah, they're just trash.
Yeah, that about sums it up. People are just trash sometimes. So
one day I hope to meet all of you, and we can have some cocktails and so forth.
try and stop me, ladies. We're making that happen. Mark my words, that's happening.
When I get out there, I love going to DC. That's for sure. But
Yo, you got a place to. If any of you guys find yourself anywhere near Pittsburgh, I got a little condo. You're welcome here. Open invite as long as you want. I mean it.
Oh, thank you. And if you guys ever in New Jersey, got the room here.
Girl, you better be careful what you extend. I might be making my way up there quicker than you think.
Oh,
I use a vacation.
I do not mind at all. And I'm a hop, skip, and a jump from NYC, so you can see how dirty it is now.
I wonder if there's like a Greyhound bus or some shit, so I wouldn't have to drive all that. I'll have to look into this. Okay, folks. On that note,
all right.
It's been great as always.
Bye. Take care. Bye bye.
Peace, people.